Hey guys, welcome to the channel Rockin' the Country. I'm Don. I've got a gift request from MontaukEd, and in MontaukEd's honor, I'm wearing the hat that he sent me. I was sporting it yesterday too, Ed, not just on the channel, but out and about in doing my errands. And I'm sporting this shirt just because every so often I have to do it in honor of Kenny Chesney. And a lot of folks on the channel over the years who have said they think I look like Kenny Chesney. And I'm like, all right, maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't see it, but I don't dispute it. I'm used to this face for some reason, even though I've never actually seen my face. Did you know that? You can't see your own face? You've only seen reflections of it. Everybody else can see your own face. But Ed made a gift to the channel for me to do Stephen Wood's song, Heart That Will Never Break Again. So let's get into this one. I wonder if this is a takeoff on the song that I did yesterday of Dwight's called Missing Heart. Maybe that inspired this one, Ed, because you know your stuff when it comes to country and fishing and woodworking and Montauk and other things. Love that beginning. Love it.
I remember standing at my daddy's bedside, and the tears filled up the wrinkles on his face.
That's a detail.
As I held his withered hand, he smiled and whispered, "Son, I'm going to live in a better place, and I'll have eyes that will never fill with teardrops, and I'll have legs that will never ache with pain, and I'll have hands that will never age and wither, and a heart that will never break again."
Yes.
I have often heard and read about a city.
I think this is more a follow-up to Wintley Phipps' song. A little bit more of a takeoff on that.
Where with Jesus we shall live forevermore, and there are mansions in construction for my dwelling, and the streets of gold will run by my front door. All the eyes of the blind will then be open. They will join the victory march with the lame, and the deaf who's never heard the roar of thunder will rejoice to hear the Savior call his name, and I'll have eyes that will never fill with teardrops, and I'll have legs that will never ache with pain, and I'll have hands that will never age and wither, and a heart that will never break again. Lord, a heart that will never break again.
Yeah, that's in the New Testament, it talks about, their heaven or the afterlife or paradise. There are different depictions of it. Is a place of no more pain, sorrow, tears, or death. And it's that's the hope that a lot of folks have, is that there'll be cessation of pain. And I created a list that 8 years ago or so. I began working on it, and I wanted to do 100 things that would not exist in a perfect world. And it was based on there being a time of no pain, sorrow, tears, or death. That premise. So I started saying, well, what things produce pain? What things produce sorrow, tears, and death that we live with in this world on a regular basis? And I wanted to see if I could come up with 100 things. And I wound up with over 1,500. It wound up being a deconstruction of society and life as we know it, because we live with so many things that produce all of those things, or are the result of those things. Like, we wouldn't need doctors. If there was no pain and no death, we wouldn't need doctors, because physical maladies lead to death, for example. Doctors treat those things. They try to anyway. And that's just for instance. Bus fumes. That was another thing in the list. But I actually published it and posted it to Amazon, and it's based on this theme. But on a more personal level for people, we all have our own ideas of, why does God allow pain? Why is there so much of it? When will Jesus return? If you believe in the New Testament, and it doesn't matter to me if people have faith in an afterlife or belief in an afterlife or faith in God or anybody or anything. That doesn't faze me. What I observe, I'll handle my own beliefs, for example, but I'll observe kindness or mean-spiritedness. That's how simple I break it down, really, in life, whether or not a person is cool by me or not. And I know some people decide on whether another person's cool or not based on their political views or based on their religious views. Do you go to my church? Do you have my religion and this and that? I don't. It's hard making it through this world. This is a very hard world to live in. And in this song, it started out with, he, as a young man, he went to his father's bed. I think it said as a young man. Maybe I just read into it that way, but he went to his father's bedside and tears filled the wrinkles in his face. So he's got tears and he's got wrinkles in his face. His body hurts. And he was just looking forward to a time when that would no longer happen to him. He wouldn't experience heartache. And the one thing about death is we kind of live with a Stockholm syndrome as humans. We want to keep living. We prolong 80s and 90s and propping up older folks. And I know that because I took care of my mother and I saw it firsthand. And I understand why we do it, because we want to hold on. But on the other hand, it's like, how much is enough? Do we just live because somehow it's in us, just live when we're in pain all the time? And there does come a point where you say, I don't have it in me to fight this anymore. I'm done. And I don't begrudge anybody either for getting to that point and giving up the will to continue, because this is a very hard world in which to live. Our bodies break down, and but death will be a time when if there is no afterlife, if the Hebrew Bible and the New Testament and Quran and all these other, whether Buddhist documents and such are just man-made constructs, death is a time where there'll be no more pain, at least. Whether there'll be consciousness or not, that's a different discussion, but that's part of it. I'm not going to rate that one, Ed. So I hope that I can talk for a lot. I actually did on this subject. I actually rewrote the entire New Testament in my own words some years ago and discovered there was a lot of assumptions I'd made that were wrong. And it was fascinating. And then I rewrote it a second time, most of it a second time. So I'm fairly familiar with many of these texts. All right, guys, you can thank Mr. MontaukEd for that one. Divine intervention would help our Mets, wouldn't they, Ed? All right, guys, have a great day. I'll see you on another video and keep rocking the country.
I remember standing at my daddy's bedside, and the tears filled up the wrinkles on his face.